Yeah.
Hey there, Rockstar! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ruben Whitter. Oh my goodness me. I used to do my vocal warm-up tonight. Okay, so as you may know, I am a university dropout. Actually, I'm a double university dropout. That's right, I went to private school and then public school, and I dropped out of both within the same year, I believe it too. Like, oh my gosh. Was it though? Yeah, because I believe that did I transfer? I think that because either I started the first one early, then transferred out, or I started the second one a semester late or something. I don't know. That was just a trip. My life is a consistent roller coaster, but like now I'm getting used to it and now it's like fun. But back then, oh my goodness me. And that is, by the way, this is so not the last video I'll ever make. What's this doing? By the way, this is by no means the last video I'll ever make on this topic because there is just so much that I can say. And like, wow, it's not something that consistently plagues my mind, but I'm at the age now where, on paper at least, I should be done with university / college. I should be like getting my ish together as a proper grown up. But like, yeah. Actually, things are going better than I'd like to believe, to be honest with you. Like, I didn't even have the wherewithal to comprehend how good my life is right now. But like, TLDR, I'm living the life that I wish I could have, sort of thing. Like, I wish that I was brave enough to drop out of university twice and do my own thing and to be successful at it. You know what I mean? Like, I wish that, like, from the outside looking in, I can see how, like, I got it all going on, so, yeah. So, am I proud of being a dropout? TLDR, well, actually, okay, so you see people who are like doing the thing in the mainstream or whatever, they tend to be people who have dropped out of whatever place they're in. Like, if they were an actor, they dropped out of theatre school, or like, if they're an entrepreneur, they dropped out of business school, or something like that. So maybe I'm just one of those. Maybe. Would I recommend someone drop out twice? Absolutely not. But like, I'm not ashamed of that either, because first of all, I went twice, so I definitely took the time to study two different subjects to be like, okay, what is it that I want to study, to be honest with you? And number two, I actually attended lectures, actually attempted to meet friends, actually attempted to be a part of the whole university experience. But when I look back at that time in my life, it just wasn't going to happen in the way in which I wanted it to happen. And I didn't want to spend potentially hundreds of thousands of pounds or dollars or euros, whatever have you, on an experience which is ultimately I would not like, sort of thing. Like, if there's a 50% chance of me doing something completely unknown that I might not like, that I think is a waste of time, those odds are too high for me. Would you eat an apple if there was a 50% chance that you'd die from it? Like, no. So then, it didn't make sense to me at the time. It didn't make sense. And like, the amount of things which I wanted to do, which I needed to do for me, I could not do those things in the universities that I applied to. And I only applied in the UK, which we'll go into that at a later date. But like, yeah, it just wasn't going to happen in the way which I wanted it to happen. No. Also, now that I have done a bit more research, because I want to go back to university, that's the thing. Now that I've done a bit more research, like, there are so many more clever ways that I could go about getting the things or the skills that I want to have, sort of thing. It's like the difference between, I don't freaking know, doing a degree in Spanish or living in Spain. Like, things like that, which I'm so proud of that I'm going to do. But for me, I don't see, some people just see university just like, oh, just the thing you do, school, college, university, wife and kids, husband and kids, spouse and children, whatever you want. But for me, I saw university as a transformative experience in which I bust up, in which I level up, in which I grow and stretch, and that's just not what I have seen. I have not yet seen I'm sure people like that exist, but for the most part, people tend to shimmy along as a person who they were to begin with. Like, if you really liked geography and environmental science at school, then like it makes sense that university and just like carry on that same very linear, narrowed path. But me, I have so many different hobbies and interests. and my mind stretches in so many different places each and every day, it makes sense for me to have lots of contrasting experiences and then to come together as like an actualized human being. And that's just not what I perceive university to be. In this country at least, like, that's just not what I hear in the grapevine. But there's something special about dropping out that makes you a go-getter, that forces you to innovate yourself out of so many different situations, that forces yourself to be an entrepreneur, that forces yourself to step out of your comfort zone. I show up and show out for myself. Like, it's unreal. It's unreal how much I have my own back. And, like, I know that I can take myself so much further in any direction that I want to. A lot of people go to university, that's the whole selling point of it, isn't it? Like the whole selling point of university is they say that like, okay, get this degree, and then get this piece of paper, and then you'll be able to get a cool, shiny job after it. Which, I mean, at this point, you can do your own research, like, legit. Hello. It's not to me. It's not to me to tell you about the Tooth Fairy or Santa Claus. You have to figure that out on your own. But me, I know that I'm enough. I've proven to myself and so many other people that I'm enough. Without the gown and, well, without the gown and the piece of paper and everything else. And if I do choose to get a degree, then I'll be me and then some. Like, I'm not relying on, like, the piece of paper or other people's opinions to carry me through in life. Like, I know that I can get it when I want it. And university does not teach you to use your own personal merits or personality or quirks or charm or skills what you already have to take you from A to B. That's just not what you learn to do. Also, I've not learned to quiet my opinions for the sake of the hive mind. I've not been inside an environment where I can't even think. Like, I've not learned that I can't even think what I think or wear what I want to wear because a rumour might start and then that might get sent to the dean and then I might have a disciplinary over nothing, to be honest with you. In a time when you are really crystallising your identity and, like, how you want to show up in the world at large. If something doesn't serve me, then I have no problems with just, like, exiting it out of my life. Like, it's that simple. But in a university setting, you just have to put up with, like, so much crap, which you just don't want to have to deal with, because like that's your entire environment. Imagine going to the same building for like 3 years, 4 years, 5 years and being bombarded with like the same boring ass rhetoric and like not being able to escape it. Like, hello, I know for me that if I can turn a street corner, have a completely different life and completely different opinions, completely different set of friends, like, I know that. But people who come to university, they don't tend to feel that way. All they know is to justify their opinions based on this textbook or based on this opinion that's been like chopped down and changed because of this lecturer, or to always ask for someone else's permission as to how they should do a certain thing. But me, I just go, if anything needs to be done in my life, then it becomes done. Like, that's just long and short of it. There's just a different way that you just like move through the earth that at this point is unparalleled. And yes, there's a difference between someone who has dropped out of university and someone who has never been. That being said, being a dropout suits me and the way that I want to do things. TLDR, I don't rely on a textbook to tell me that I'm doing the right thing. I see the evidence of it each and every day. And like and all those years people spent in the classroom hustling for this piece of paper, I spent in the real world, like literally learning how the machine works from the inside out. There are sometimes when I feel like, okay, baby doll, do I need all this knowledge like in my back pocket? But it's like, it works, it works for me. And most people, in fact, nearly all people who I have met and spoke to anyway, like their degrees, what they've learned in their degrees doesn't work for them in life, sort of thing. So like, yeah, again, not here to bash anyone or to like tell anyone how to live their lives, but like, you know, if you are going to university, like, I don't think, like, just stay, like, even if I didn't go to university twice, I think I still would have, like, you know, staved off going to university until this point anyway, just because, like, just, no. I like exploring. I like being wild and free and, like, looping crazy, and, like, I just don't feel like being trapped in a building with the same people over 5 years is the way for me to, like, become actualized as a human being. I just don't see it. But yeah, this is not the last video on this topic, and yeah, let's all hang out together in this internet space, dropouts and non-dropouts alike. Okay, kiss it for me, so bye. Oh, leave a like and leave a comment below. Okay, bye.